The wrench slipped from his calloused fingers and clattered onto the oil-stained floor. Jacob Mason, a 42-year-old mechanic in a fading denim jacket, leaned heavily against the open hood of the battered old Chevy he'd been working on since dusk. His limbs trembled from exhaustion, eyes bleary from sleeplessness. The garage clock read 5:43 a.m. He collapsed onto the cold cement floor, the world spinning as darkness clouded the corners of his vision. Jacob hadn't stopped since yesterday morning. Rent was due. The landlord was done waiting. His teenage daughter, Emma, needed a new pair of glasses, and he couldn't stand the thought of her squinting through school again. So he worked, through blisters, hunger, and pain, fixing every car he could just to scrape together enough. As the world faded, he heard footsteps. He blinked, unsure if he was dreaming. Jacob, a soft, unfamiliar voice broke through the haze. "Oh my God, are you okay?" He opened his eyes slowly. Standing over him was a young woman, maybe in her late 20s, dressed far too elegantly for the grease-stained garage. She wore a long beige coat and boots that looked like they cost more than every tool he owned. "Claire Whitmore," she said quickly. I brought my car in last night. My assistant left it by the side. You were supposed to." "I finished it," he croaked, barely lifting his head. "It's ready." She looked down at him, not with the judgment or condescension he was used to from people like her, but something different, something closer to panic. "Can you sit up?" she asked, kneeling beside him. "You're shaking. When did you last eat?" He chuckled weakly. "Honestly, I don't remember." She glanced around the garage, then back at him. "You shouldn't be doing this to yourself. This isn't right." Jacob grunted. "Life doesn't wait. My kid needs me." Claire paused, visibly taken aback. She looked as if she wanted to say something, then swallowed it. Instead, she helped him sit against the wall and pulled out her phone. "I'm calling someone to help." "No hospitals," Jacob said quickly. "Can't afford it." She hesitated again. Then, quietly, she slipped the phone back in her coat. "Okay," she said softly. "But let me stay a minute." They sat in silence for a while, Jacob's breath steadying. Then she did something that caught him off guard. She began to cry. "I lied," she whispered. "About the car. It's fine. I needed a reason to come back." He frowned. "What do you mean? I saw you last week when I came to pick up my father's rolls. You were helping a woman, a customer who couldn't pay. You fixed her car anyway. I saw you hand her your lunch bag. You told her, 'It's okay, I've got more at home.' But you didn't. You lied." Jacob looked away, embarrassed. "People need help. That's just what you do." Claire bit her lip, tears still falling. "My father, he passed 2 months ago. He ran the Whitmore Foundation. Since he died, I've been drowning in lawyers and board meetings and people who only see the money. I didn't know how to lead. I felt alone. And you came here. I came because you reminded me what real humanity looks like. You gave without asking. You worked until you collapsed. And you meant it." Her voice cracked. "I needed to see that again. I needed you." Jacob didn't know what to say. For the first time in years, someone wasn't asking him to give, but telling him he mattered. She stood and reached into her coat pocket, pulling out a folded envelope. "I know you won't take charity, but this is an offer. I want you to be the head mechanic of a new community auto program. We'll fix cars for single parents, veterans, folks trying to get back on their feet. You'll have a team, a real salary, benefits." Jacob stared at her, dumbfounded. Claire smiled through her tears. "I need someone who knows what it means to give. Someone who won't let this be another vanity project. Please, Jacob, help me make something that matters." He took the envelope with trembling hands. Inside wasn't just a contract. It was a lifeline. The sun was rising now, casting a warm orange hue through the garage's dusty windows. Jacob looked over at the car he'd just finished, and then at the woman who'd come back not to be helped, but to help. "You've got yourself a mechanic," he said, voice thick. Claire nodded, relief washing over her face. And as Jacob stood, still sore, still tired, but for the first time in years, hopeful, he realized something strange and beautiful.